Brazil look okay. Yeah, so we're going to be doing, instead of like day reviews, we're going to be doing games, like some big games, and this was one of them that happened just an hour ago, ended around an hour ago. Brazil 2, Serbia 0. There'll be no edits in this, it'll just be me straight up talking for 6 minutes around that. Brazil, they look okay, they look decent, they look alright, they're an okay side. For me, they were the dominant side over Serbia, and they definitely were. 22 shots. They were, the threatening side. But Brazil just didn't look Brazil. They looked a little bit different. They looked a little bit poor in possession. I thought they sort of took Serbia for advantage. They were trying to do little tricks here and there that just didn't quite work out. And yeah, Brazil, for me, they definitely could have been a lot better. It is the first game of the World Cup, so I have to give them credit. And Serbia defensively were absolutely world class. Some of their tackles, phenomenal. But Brazil, they looked alright. They looked decent. They weren't the worst side. But it just goes to show that these, smaller sides, not the ones you really look at, are actually going to be difficult to break, difficult to work against. And Brazil showed that today. Serbia showed that today. They showed that they're not, a pushover. They're quite a strong side, especially defensively. They've got some tall, big players in defence, and Brazil just couldn't really cut them apart. Couldn't really find the finishing touch in the first half. Was definite. In the first half, they were really poor. I think the first half they were very, very poor in the first half, Brazil, and it showed. They just weren't they weren't the best. They just weren't fantastic. But you knew there was going to be a response in the second half. It didn't look great, but the second half they looked fiery. They looked back to Brazil, and Richarlison two absolute, one brilliant goal, one just a tap in. Vinicius Junior with the both assists. Vinny Junior in the first one shot power. The keeper had a blinder. The keeper had a brilliant game. Couldn't really do much about either goal. He saved the Vinny shot, powered it straight into Richarlison for the first goal. Second goal, world class, fully world class. Vinny Junior's cross was a little bit behind, so I had to readjust. Brilliant touch, fantastic volley. It was a brilliant. It's not a Bicey volley, but it was brilliant finish from Richarlison, and he is just a fantastic player. Richarlison, he's been brilliant for Brazil. Possession stats, fantastic from Brazil. Just dominated on pretty much everything. But seeing Serbia, they were always going to get dominated. Brazil are, Brazilian, they're brilliant. But you always knew they were going to get dominated. But, when Serbia had that chance to break, and they had a few chances where to break, their final pass, their final cross, it's just a little bit lacking there. And I thought if they maybe just, tidied stuff up there in the attack, then they could have scored, definitely. But yeah, Serbia, it wasn't to be. It was going to be a tough match. 2 goals for Richarlison. That puts him top goal scorer. That puts him 5th. 6th in the top goal scorer, with Bukayo Saka leading the top. But yeah, massive win for Brazil. 2-0, top of their group, with Switzerland both on 3 points. But yeah, it wasn't the vintage Brazil we always love to see, love to watch. Neymar had a really poor game. He had a few decent dribbles, but half the time he just made a misplaced pass, dribble it into one of the Serbia players, try and skill them, miss time they didn't quite get the skill correct. But yeah, not brilliant from Brazil. But at the end of the day, good teams get the results. They did get the result in the end, 2-0. Looks convincing, it was convincing, but they weren't vintage. They weren't the best Brazil side I know, and there's definitely a better Brazil side than that one. But at the end of the day, 2-0, 3 points, top of the table. you know, first game of the World Cup's not always going to be your prettiest, and Serbia, very good side, very strong defensively as well. This Serbia side definitely can get top two, definitely second. I think we're battling out between Switzerland and Serbia. Serbia, where are they in the? They're playing Switzerland last. They've got Switzerland, got Brazil, and then Serbia. So yeah, it's gonna. Brazil got Switzerland next. That's tough. Serbia has got Cameroon. So it 3 points. It'll go down to the last game. But yeah, that does wrap up the video. We're going to be doing like sort of these not day reviews. We're going to be doing a game review. So if a shockers happens, if there's no real shockers, no real decent game, I'll try and make one. But if there's there's no real point doing it, I won't do it. But yeah, Brazil look good. Yeah, that does wrap up the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.